Welcome to the Tolman Self-Care Podcast, where we bring our weekly self-care content in easy listening audio format. It's a great way to boost your self-care mindset anytime you're multitasking at home, in the car, or on your morning walk. Now, before we get started with today's episode, a quick word about the content of this recording. The information shared in this podcast is general in nature and is not intended as any kind of medical advice or to replace any diagnosis, treatment or recommendation given to you by your doctor. We always recommend that you do your own research and seek opinion from a licensed healthcare professional before acting on any of this information to ensure its suitability for you and your personal circumstances. We hope you enjoy today's podcast. Now let's get started. Is dietary salt harmful or healing? Care establishment has pushed marketing campaigns to steer the population away from salt and towards low-salt diets. The problem is that your body needs salt to heal and protect against infection, inflammation, and viral overwhelm. Additionally, a low-salt diet is one of the leading causes of weak bones and eventually chronic conditions like osteoporosis and arthritis. Why? Because salt ionizes into calcium in the body, which is why the oceans are flooded with pure calcium coral and crustaceans. So, instead of encouraging us to consume a moderate amount of nature-made salt to protect our health, no doubt you'll recognize some of these common misconceptions. Salt clogs the arteries. Salt causes high blood pressure. Salt causes fluid retention. Salt is harmful for diabetics. Be careful about how much salt you eat. Salt is a critical electrolyte of cells that your body needs to perform functions. And if the masses really understood the power of salt in the diet, there'd be much less infections and reliance on antibiotics and other pharmaceutical drugs. Keep in mind also, there is a reason why hospitals use saline drips when people first enter the hospital in a crisis situation. Because salt is one of the fastest healing compounds on Earth. Which salt to avoid? Not all salt is created equal. So, when we talk about salt, it is important to understand which type of salt is best to support, not deplete your health. Table salt should be avoided because it's infused with toxic chemicals like aluminium so that it doesn't cake. Table salt is commonly used in most restaurants and cafes and is what you'll find on most supermarket shelves. It is made by taking natural salt, such as crude oil flake leftovers, and heating it to 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. During this extreme process, the chemical composition is altered and all of the nutritional benefits are destroyed. You may not know that generic table salt ends up being around 97.5% sodium chloride and a 2.5% balance containing an array of ingredients, including anti-caking chemicals, iodine, MSG as a known toxin, and/or white processed sugar to help stabilize the iodine, aluminium derivatives such as sodium solo-co-aluminate. The bottom line is that these ingredients are not healthy for the body. In fact, will add to your toxic load over time and distance, so should be avoided. Which salt to choose? When it comes to salt, knowing your source is vital. Always choose pure, unrefined salts made by the sea and wind, wood-raked, packaged, and not tampered with in any way. Some of the Earth's most pure salts include Celtic sea salt and Himalayan crystal salt. Pure, unrefined salt like these help to regulate heartbeat and blood pressure, clear the lungs of mucus, essential for healing asthma and bronchitis, healing cold and flu infections and viral overwhelm, balance sugar levels in the blood, an important element for diabetics, generate spark within the cells for energy, support food particle absorption and boost digestion, prevent muscle cramps, strengthen bones, minimize muscle cramps and speed recovery from intense exercise. Salt is essential for robust health and vitality. In fact, pure nature-made salt is a self-care staple you should not only have in your kitchen at home, but with you wherever you go. Handy tip: don't rely on restaurants and cafes for having healthy salt, as they often don't. It's far better to take your own pure salt with you to dress up your food. The key takeaway: salt is a vital nutrient your body needs for lasting health and vitality. Salt is the electrolyte of all 76 trillion plus cells. It strengthens your bones and helps to ward off infections and to alleviate congestion and viral overwhelm. The key is to avoid table salt and other chemically treated salts, and to embrace pure, unrefined, naturally harvested salts as part of your everyday diet and self-care routine. Whilst there are 7 principles of health: air, water, sunshine, walking, whole foods, healthy relationships and passion, for good measure you can make salt the 8th principle. For the purest, unrefined nature-made salts, visit the salt section in our online store at tolmanselfcare.com. This concludes today's episode, and we hope you gained value from the tips and insights shared. Remember, the true foundations of self-care have always been the 7 principles of health: air, water, sunshine, walking, whole foods, non-toxic relationships, and passion. And your only job is to embrace them as part of your life. If you're looking for personal care, skincare or whole food products you can trust, visit our online store at tolmanselfcare.com. Lastly, if you enjoyed today's episode, we'd really appreciate it if you share it with a friend and leave us a review on your podcast platform. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to being with you in the next episode.